It's early, so.
All right, everybody stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we're so thankful that we can come to do the school's work tonight, Lord. We're just so thankful for the blessings that you have given us through our staff, our teachers, our many, many wonderful students, and the school itself, Lord. We just give you the praise and glory. We just thank you for this week that we're celebrating your Son. In his name we pray. Amen.
Okay. I call the meeting to order at 6:30 p.m. So, Mr. George, would you like to start with our elementary students of the month?
I will start with Hudson Good. Hold that. Then turn around so everybody can see. I'm gonna read something back. Hudson is a kindergartner, so elementary we combined our kindergarten and related arts for this month, so I will have 4 to bring up, but Hudson is the first. He is a kindergartner in Mrs. Needler's class, and his teacher is here to recognize him as well, and I will read what Mrs. Needler wrote. I'd like to take a moment to highlight one of our outstanding kindergarten students. Hudson is a shining example of what it means to be a model student. He consistently demonstrates excellent classroom behavior, showing respect to both his peers and teachers. Hudson has worked very hard this year and has already met and exceeded so many of his academic and personal goals. He sets a wonderful example for his classmates by always following directions and staying focused. Hudson is a good friend to others and someone that I can always count on to be doing the right thing, even when no one else is watching. We are incredibly proud of him and grateful to have him as part of our class. Way to go, Hudson. Okay, that's fine. Did you want to hang out up here or go sit down? He said I'd like to sit down. Reagan Day. So everybody can see you. And Reagan is another kindergartner who was nominated by Mrs. Spear. Do you want to come up with her, Mrs. Spear? I told you.
Oh, I didn't know you wanted me to
Oh,
come
you
up.
didn't know what this meant?
Sorry.
So, Mrs. Spear wrote that it is with great joy and pride that I can say Reagan Day has earned Kindergarten Student of the Month. She not only works hard and does well academically, but also exemplifies kindness, humility, and personal growth. She has quietly and consistently amazed me all year long. From the very beginning of the school year, she has stood out and is the kind of student who doesn't seek attention, yet naturally draws admiration from both her peers and her teachers. She is smart, solves problems, approaches challenges, and has a very beautiful heart. She works incredibly hard, whether she's tackling a difficult assignment, helping a classmate, understanding something new, or taking on a personal challenge. She gives it her all every time. She is one determined student and always strives to do her very best. Thank you for being an example of quiet strength. Thank you for showing us all what it means to work hard, be kind, and never stop growing. You may not always realize the impact you have, but please know that your presence has made our classroom a better place. You have touched our lives, inspired hearts, and truly made a difference. And I am so proud of you, Reagan, from Mrs. Spear. And Jace Stevens. Around so everybody can stare at you while we read all these nice things. So Jace was one of our first nominees from the Related Arts team, and it looks like they all just wrote a little bit of something, a couple sentences here, so I will just go down the line that Jace is such a great student to have in class, and he has been an absolute joy to watch grow and lead each and every week in our class. In the computer lab, he excels in coding and was 6 to 8 lessons ahead of the entire 4th grade. Mrs. Carmichael is excited to see if those skills take him into a future in engineering. In music class, Jace always participates and does so with a smile on his face every day. He tries hard at everything he does and is always up for a challenge. In art, Jace always listens and follows directions. He's so creative and has such a great attitude and funny personality. He is such a helpful and encouraging friend to all of those around him. Our student of the month for related arts, Jace Stevens. And our fourth and final nominee, Miss Macy Hawkins. The related arts team wrote the following things about Macy. She is one of the sweetest and most kind-hearted students who is always willing to lend a helping hand, whether it be to a student or staff member. Her positive attitude and helpful nature make her such a joy to have in any class. Mrs. Drummond is always constantly impressed by Macy's ability to lead by example and by her immense humbleness. Macy is one of the few students in 5th grade to achieve advanced both in typing and coding lessons in computer class, and she sets such a wonderful example for all of those around her. In art, Macy always listens and follows directions, and she is such a fun and creative young lady, always trying her very best, even when she's unsure of herself and what she's working on. She is helpful, dependable, and very trustworthy, and we are proud of you, Macy Hawkins.
Mr. George,
Yes.
we said the Pledge of Allegiance. Wasn't that wonderful?
Yes.
These young
Kids.
people that you are leading have the beautiful voice. And that's the loudest I've heard us ever say the Pledge of
Yes.
Allegiance in this room.
I noted
Very
that as
good
well.
job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
If the elementary parents and students that were recognized want to step out for some pictures with Mr. George, this would be a good time to do that. And if we have some middle school parents out there for Student of the Month, then you can move in here and we can recognize those students.
I'd like to give some recognition to you guys for staying at the core mission of education and not being like Monroe County and protesting, shutting down school for a protest. I'm from Monroe County, my kids travel here, and I'm just happy to have them at this school and have that opportunity to bring them over here.
Well, thank you.
Sure.
I want to recognize you guys for staying at the core of education and not ideology.
Thank you. Mrs. Clary, we're ready for you to, I didn't know if you were out there. I was just
I was
inviting
waiting
you.
to make my grand entrance.
Well, I'm sorry, I apologize.
I am out there. Ms. Yoho, you wanna come on up? I'm gonna.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we also have quite a few students. Oh, she's taking pictures. You want me to do that? I'll do that.
Okay.
I'll come back around until she
I'll go
finishes.
last.
Sorry for all the confusion. I have quite a few people to recognize today as well. I'm gonna start with Ashlyn Michael. I nominated Ashlyn. Ashlyn is just an exceptional student, human being. I loved having her in class, and now I've loved being her principal as well. She always leads by example and always chooses to do the right thing, even when no one's watching, right?
Yeah.
Her kindness and compassion shine through in every interaction she has. She treats her peers and teachers with respect, empathy, and she genuinely just cares for everyone in our building. In the classroom, she's focused, she's hardworking, and committed to giving her best effort every day. Her positive attitude, strong character, and dedication to both her academics and the people around her make her truly an outstanding choice for Student of the Month. Wyatt Chambers. Wyatt here. Well, we can still clap for Wyatt. Good job, Wyatt. Wyatt was nominated by Mrs. Ingram, and Mrs. Ingram said, Wyatt has been very focused in class, especially of late. He is one of the most genuine individuals when speaking with you on a daily basis. He is polite and respectful, which is such a breath of fresh air in today's society. He has a drive to succeed for his future, which is the motivation behind his focus of late, which is to be admired. Wyatt has the ability to succeed in life due to his hard work and just his personality in general. Thank you, Wyatt Chambers, for being the young man that you are today, and I'm excited to see who you are in the future. Mrs. Ingram. I have to agree with all of that. Wyatt is definitely one of the hardest working kids I've ever met. Liam Mobley. Is Liam here? Oh, okay. Let's clap for Liam. Liam was nominated by all the sixth grade teachers, but Mrs. Campbell wrote this statement about him. It is my honor to nominate Liam Mobley for Student of the Month in recognition of his outstanding growth and dedication to his education. Like Muhammad Ali in the ring, Liam has fought hard to improve, showing remarkable progress in his behavior, academics, and enthusiasm for learning in the classroom. Once hesitant, he now steps into the classroom with confidence, ready to take on challenges with the determination of a champion. His commitment to his studies has soared. He floats through assignments with focus and lands his best efforts like a well-placed jab. Behind academics, Liam has been transforming his behavior, demonstrating respect, perseverance, and a positive attitude. Just as Ali inspired others with his resilience, his teachers have seen him rise not by luck, but by sheer determination. He refuses to back down from obstacles and embraces learning with the heart of a true fighter. Liam's journey is one of grit and growth, and we are incredibly proud of the student he is becoming. As Ali once said, impossible is nothing. And Liam is proving that every day. It is with great enthusiasm that we all recognize Liam Mobley as Student of the Month. Mrs. Campbell. So what you don't know is that sixth grade did a unit about boxing, and we even had some people come in and do some boxing demonstrations. So that's where the Muhammad Ali.
Is there video?
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
okay.
there is. Yeah. It was really cool. And then we have also Paxton Priest. Come on.
He has an entourage. Even Mr. George knows him. You sure you don't want to read it?
We knew each other.
You want me to
Yeah.
read it?
You can be the thorn between two roses right here, right? Did you ever think we'd be standing here? Yeah. Super proud of this young man. So, and I wrote this, I was gonna have her read it, then she tells me that I need to read it, so. Paxton doesn't like compliments very well, and his face will get red, but he has learned from being here at Eastern Greene that he's gonna get some compliments, and he's learned to take them. But I think what has happened here, he came here with a lot of trauma and a lot of roadblocks from other schools, many other schools. And what Eastern is about is relationships. And over the last 2 or 3 years, you're shaking your head. There's one of my old ones right there. Yeah. And it's about relationships, and that goes along with relationships with the parents. But Lindsay and I, a couple years ago, invested in this young man. And over a lot of time spent with him, a lot of patience, a lot of love, a few treats, many Coca-Colas over conversations. He has learned to be in school, stay in school, and become successful in school when he had a lot of other situations in the past where it was roadblocks in schools. And he found his home here. I've peeled back those layers, and it was a lot of peeling, and it was tough peeling. But I have a lot of respect for him. He has been good for our school, and we've been good for him.
And he might be the only student who has repaired the superintendent's lawnmower.
And gave me grief that I didn't change the oil sooner, told me it was like sludge, so.
He's very very good with his hands, but Dad, we're super proud of him, to have the success that he's had here at Eastern Greene Middle School, and the relationship that we've all built with him. So good job, buddy. Now middle school can step out and we'll take pictures, and we'll send the high school in.
Hey, if you're looking for more work, I can't get my pressure washer started.
I got a couple.
I'm just saying.
He's your man.
All right, I
Pass
a
out
lot of
cards.
blood, sweat, and tears went into that yesterday. So.
I have mowed twice with the mower and it's mowed great, so I can vouch for it.
All right,
We got high school, I think, they're coming in. I know one of them's here.
yeah,
I think they're both here.
there's Mr. Kirkendall.
All right. So our first student that I would like to recognize is Peyton Lewis.
You're sure on that, right?
Yeah, I'm sure. Honestly, I've known Peyton for the past 4 years. He was the last of the Lewis crew to come through, and all the Lewis boys are fantastic. But I have never seen a student so involved in everything: 3 sports, National Honor Society, social student council, Riley Dance Marathon, JAG. I mean, I bet there's probably people that are looking forward to you graduating so that they can get to participate. So, I just wanted to say thank you. You've been an amazing leader in the building. When you're not playing a sport, you are showing up, cheering people on. You're at pretty much everything, and you're gonna be missed. So, congratulations. The last student of the month for 2025, or for this year, is Erica Payne. Erica is also a senior. If you haven't noticed, one of the things I try to do at the last student of the month, I always try to recognize a couple seniors that I'm just going to absolutely miss. And this was pretty easy for us. Peyton's fantastic, and Erica is too. And when Mr. Howard and I started kind of talking about seniors that we wanted to recognize, it was pretty easy selecting her because she is our intern in the front office, and she does an amazing job at what she does. And I've gotten to know her over the past 4 years, but especially this year, and I've watched her kind of blossom into a more vocal, just wonderful person. And she's always been kind of quiet, likes to stay behind the scenes. And this year, if you read pretty much any of our posts on Facebook or any of the articles, she's writing them. She's an amateur photographer.
Yeah.
That's one of her passions. And so this was just kind of a match made in heaven with kind of the writing skills and the photography and everything. And she really kind of happened into the situation because her internship fell through. But it was just kind of serendipitous, really, because I think you've now decided that you're going to go into digital marketing. So she's getting application for that major right now. So I'm incredibly proud of you. I'm going to miss you, and I'm going to have to figure out who I'm going to find to write all the Facebook posts and stuff, because I'm not very good at it, and you show me up on a daily basis. So just congratulations. Thank you.
Okay, we got art. We want art teachers. Do we want to? You want to come up and?
You want to start first?
Paisley Moser. Paisley, come on up.
has come a long way from the shy and quiet kindergartner I first met, though she has always been creative. It has been a joy to watch her grow in confidence as she adds her own unique touches to each project. She is a great listener and follows directions well. Paisley stays focused on her work throughout class, which makes her project stand out as extra special. Her attention to detail and the adorable penguins she included in her matching mittens symmetry lesson are both cute and fun. And Bryson Sherfield. Bryson is also a second grader. Bryson is a whimsical character. His fun personality truly shines in his artwork. He brings so much to our class with his creative ideas. He had a great time working on our matching mitten symmetry lesson, and it was a pleasure to watch him. His excitement is contagious, often inspiring those around him to put more effort into their work. Bryson's energetic style helps create a lively and enjoyable atmosphere in the art room, and I love having him in class and seeing him continue to grow.
So Madeline is not here today, so I am going to recognize Mason Campbell. Mason, I met you on Friday. You were at that field trip, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Just briefly, but are you a seventh grade? Eighth grader, so I'm gonna get to see you next year, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I'm just gonna read what Madeline wrote. She said, Mason is such a joy to have in class. His dedication to each project, enthusiasm for creativity bring great energy to the art room. I love hearing his excitement every day and always look forward to seeing what he will create next. His dedication to craftsmanship is a great example to his classmates. Keep exploring, creating, and sharing your positive spirit, Mason. Okay, and I'm going to start with Veda. So Veda, will you just come up? I just wanted
We need to see it over here too.
I brought the artwork in here just because I'm really proud of these kids, and I think that, you know, it was hard to choose, but I mean, these are amazing pieces, so I just wanted you to hold it while I read this. All right, so this is Veda Johnson, who is currently in my advanced 3D art class. She is a very creative artist and a fun kid to have in class. Great sense of humor. Her piece is called Op Art, or 3D Optical Illusion Art. I think it's amazing. It depicts a hibiscus flower in the center with a red and green optical illusion motif. I wanted to say that I'm very proud of her artistic and personal growth this year, and I hope to see it continue next year. You're going to take any art classes this year? Good. So thank you, Veda, for being an awesome student and person, and this is for you. I have to point this out. I put blind. Okay, good job. Thank you. All right, and then Anna Burris. So actually, that's yours. I kind of embellished a little bit. All right, Anna is a student whom I had the pleasure of teaching since she was in 8th grade. Her positive attitude and sense of humor have made class a lot of fun, and she is in 2 of my classes this year, which are painting and sculpture. I was very impressed with her portrait. This is The Weekend. It's done in a pop art style, and I think she did an amazing job. I don't know, I was blown away when you were working on that, and I know you were kind of like, I don't know, but I really think that you did an amazing job on that. This year, I've really seen her confidence grow in her art, and she's really made some fun artistic choices with her projects, and being in 2 classes, I've got to see a lot of her work, and just really amazing. I wish the best for Anna as she prepares to graduate soon and go on to many great things in the future. Good job, Anna.
Thank you.
I wanted to say one more thing. We are having a K-12 art show not next Wednesday, but the week after, April the 30th, and we're having an opening reception in the high school balcony from 5 to 7. So I would like to invite everybody to please come and check it out. Thank you.
And I'm not sure if you're aware, I don't know if we mentioned this, but the winners each month, we display their artwork in the central office here for people to see. So that's just an added piece for the students to get recognized.
Thank you so much.
two-family and the next one.
We have some additional special presentations. I believe these are all with the high school, so.
Yep. So the first recognition that I would like to talk to you guys about is the Crane Science Fair. We actually had two placers. Abigail Burkhart, who placed first in the senior division. She has placed, I think, all 4 years. So she's does a fantastic job. And then her brother, Sam Burkhart, placed second. So yeah, also in the senior division. So wanted to congratulate them and recognize them for all their efforts. That's something that they do above and beyond, school stuff. So really do appreciate them representing Eastern Greene. So, and next one, you ready? Miss Forrester, Isabel Forrester, as you guys will probably hear a lot about, doesn't like the spotlight, do you? I'm gonna make this just hard for you, okay? So Miss Forrester was, let me back up. One of the things that I am very fortunate to do is select the Hobie recipient each year. For those of you that don't know, I'm gonna read a little bit about Hobie. Hobie was founded by Hugh O'Brien in 1958 as a nonprofit organization. The mission remains unchanged: to inspire a global community of youth and volunteers to a life dedicated to leadership, service, and innovation. This year, the Hobie Camp will be at Purdue University in June. Since its inception, over 5 million leadership hours have been logged, resulting in 149 million in economic impact. Hugh's belief in the potential of every human being and his commitment to empowering youth leaders is his legacy. Today, more than 500,000 Hobie alumni around the world are making a difference in the lives of others, thanks to the vision and passion of Hugh O'Brien. This year's Eastern Greene Hobie Award winner is Isabel Forrester. So, with the help of Miss Birch, I get to select a high school student who I feel is going to not only represent Eastern Greene really well, but also has hidden leadership characteristics that we really want to exploit and grow and really kind of help foster that growth. And Isabel, when I pulled her in and everything, very quiet young lady, but the way she presents herself as she's walking down the hall, the maturity that she provides and everything, just made her a natural choice for this. And people oftentimes think that leadership has to be the loudest person in the room, and quite often it's actually some of the quietest people that make the biggest difference. So I wanted to congratulate you and send you to Purdue this summer. Excited to do this. So congratulations.
Okay, and then Ms. Bellman, you talk a little bit about Riley Dance Marathon.
So I've got a couple things. So for Riley Dance Marathon, I need Peyton back in here. And Brooklyn, come on up here. So these three were pretty instrumental, Cheyenne Paget as well, very instrumental in trying to raise money all year long. We started June 1st for the summer, and we worked all the way through the school year trying to raise money for Riley Children's Hospital. Peyton was our president this year, so for all of it. Brooklyn worked well with our middle schoolers, and Cheyenne tried to work with our elementary students as much as she could. They were able to we sent Riley around $5,000, and we were able to raise about $10,000 over the span of the year so we can have the event and have all the things that they've gotten used to. They had to make phone calls. They had to walk up to people and say, "Hi, my name is." For some, that's a little more challenging. For some, they get a little chatty and we have to reel it back in. But bet you can't guess which ones those are. So I'm really proud of their efforts. All three of them have been involved all 4 years. I will say over the 4 years that they have been involved, they have raised about $25,000. That being said, 4 years, that's pretty good. Considering their freshman year, we didn't get the green light until a month before the dance to be able to be in one room together. So not too bad for them. So I hope they continue that as well. On the flip side of that, they're also with me in JAG. So Jobs for America's graduates, they have to be put in the spotlight quite a bit. As you can guess, Erica is the one that's kind of behind the scenes, making sure our stories get written. We were talking last year about what her leadership skills were like, and we were trying to develop a chance for her to do a work experience. One thing I like to do at the schools is create jobs for the students and then put them in something that is fitting for them to move on in their next step. Brooklyn is also doing a work experience. She is actually working in the middle school in the special ed department, helping Mrs. Uxworth with the students in the afternoon. She has loved it. She has grown in it. It has helped her realize when to be a student and when to be an adult, which is one of the hardest transitions there is. Peyton just is involved in everything, so he didn't get to have a job because he had to be in school and in class. But he, at our competition this year, him and Brooklyn were able to place first and go on to state. Peyton is our outstanding senior. We are still waiting to hear if he gets the big scholarship. We should hopefully know this week. But he had to go and write a 2-page essay on the impact that JAG has had, all the things that he's done. For him, the hardest part, I think, was tracking all the community service hours. I think that was the hardest part of the application. How many did we figure out that you had over the
4 years? It was close to 120, I think.
Of community service hours. And then he had to go in and he was interviewed by a panel of judges and he had to present himself, and if you've ever talked with Peyton, talking about himself is not his strong suit sometimes. He would much rather talk about everybody else in the room. So he did really well. He was at state, he was an honorable mention, so that is a big deal. They like him. Brooklyn, she was our public speaker. She had to give up and give a speech. And if you would have known her freshman and sophomore year, you would have known that speeches are not her thing. She does have it if people want to hear it tonight. I didn't know if there was time or not, so she is prepared to do it. I'm sure she would prefer to crawl under table and not do it. But, it talks about the impact that she's had, or that her high school career has had on her, and how JAG has helped her along the way. So very proud of these three. I'm proud of them all because they put on a big show this year. We hosted a career fair. We had 54 employers show up for our career fair. They had to show up early. Anytime the school needs something, they're usually the ones that, okay, we've got this. We'll figure it out. They come over here. They do what they can. So I couldn't say enough about them. They definitely will be missed. Would you like to hear Brooklyn's speech?
I
It's up to you
think, how long is it? Because we do have
It's
some other.
about 4 minutes.
I think we should.
Yeah, if it's 4 minutes,
Yes,
absolutely.
About 4.5. Like her time
Yeah,
is.
but-
We're not gonna kick you
Before
off.
Brooklyn goes, though, I would like to just comment from a personal standpoint. I've been a principal before I was superintendent, and we always had Riley Dance Marathon, and it was always a big deal, and I always donated. But I have a granddaughter that spent 98 days in the NIC unit at Riley. So it hits home a little bit closer this time around than it did before. So I really do appreciate their time and effort, and Peyton did that even before he was an uncle. So I commend him and all the students that participate in that. But it does hit home a little bit more, and fortunately, little Ari is doing fantastic, and there's some miracle workers that work up there at Riley. That's all I got to say. So
She had a ball and was running around. It was fun to watch.
Yeah.
So,
And Mrs. Bellman,
yes.
thank you for all your hard work.
Okay, now we'll get to listen to Brooklyn.
I'm sorry, this was just put on me yesterday to do my speech here, so I do apologize.
You're gonna do great.
So I do apologize. I had someone ask me, why does this mean so much to you? I thought back to a certain moment where if it wasn't for JAG, I wouldn't be where I am today. Good morning, everyone. Well, good afternoon, everyone. And thank you for having me here. My name is Brooklyn Johnson, and I'm Eastern Greene's 24th 25 Jack president. I've always had a hard time with speeches and get stage fright. I've had moments where I break down and moments where I finally feel like I got the hang of it. But before Jack, I wouldn't even be standing up here trying. If you had asked me to speak in front of you, I would have laughed in your face and told you no. And in fact, did laugh in Miss Bellman's face when she told me I was going to do the project-based learning and now this speech. Begin. Jack has given me more skills and opportunities than anything else I've ever done. Jack has given me the confidence to stand up here in front of you today. But that's not even half of it. I was one of the few that got to join Jack my sophomore year. Sophomore year was my hardest year yet. I had just lost my mom 2 months before school started. I felt all alone and went back into my shell. I didn't really talk to anyone and lost all confidence in myself. Mrs. Bellman invited me to join JAG a year early. In the beginning, I joined JAG for the $300 because, oh my lord, who would pass up $300? I quickly realized that it was so much more than that. It was everything that my other classes haven't taught me. Through JAG, I have learned how to do taxes, write checks, how to be a leader, communication, and most of all, JAG has taught me how to do public speaking. Well, possibly. Let's see how the rest of the speech goes. Because of the lessons and activities in JAG, I have been more of a leader in my sports, my life, and in being president. It has made me realize that you cannot follow the pack. You have to make your own path. The world isn't going to wait around for you to be ready. You never will be. The world is going to give you opportunities, take them, and make them your own. My decision to start JAG as a sophomore allowed me to grow through leadership. I started as a young student who watched and listened and helped when I felt comfortable. As I moved through the program, I have continued to grow to the point where I am now a mentor. For example, when the middle school program started at Eastern, I was able to be a support for the middle school specialists and speak to the students explaining the impact JAG could have on their lives. I continue to interact with the middle school program to help create a pathway and be an advocate for JAG. As an active participant, JAG has given me so many options that made me who I am today. The biggest opportunity it has given me is being able to be like my mom. My mom used to own a daycare. One unique fact about that daycare is she always had some children with a disability. I have wanted to work with special education ever since then. I knew that the EG-JAG program was always going over to be class helpers. And every year we go over as a class and help the middle school special education students pick out Christmas gifts. When I see them, it brings back all the memories of my mom and working in her daycare. The smiles, the laughs, the personalities, and there's so many personalities. I now have a job at our middle school as a teacher's assistant in that class. I get to see them every day. It makes my entire day when I walk in there and they yell my name. JAG is the reason I work there. And as for my career in the future, I have my whole future set. I am a soon-to-be Marine. If it wasn't for the guest speakers that come in, I would never be where I am today. All the skills and opportunities are because of JAG. I am the person I am because of Jamie Bellman. So all in all, JAG isn't just a class or a way to get $300. It is a way to grow as a person, make new friends, learn new things, be a leader, and be me. I have carved my own path. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. All right, now's the time where we have to do the business part of the meeting, so if anything. And there they go. All right, so it's obvious we don't have anybody here for the participation part, so we'll just skip that and go on. It's recommended the agenda for the April 14th, 2025 meeting be approved as presented, with additions, corrections, or deletions as recommended by the board. Do I have a motion? Dennis. Second. Sharon. All those for?
I wasn't here.
This is the agenda.
That's the agenda for tonight.
Oh, okay.
It's recommended that the minutes from the March 10th, 2025 meeting be approved as presented. Do I have a motion? Kim. Second. Dennis. All those for? Okay, it's recommended that the claims numbers 19922 through
20105
be approved as presented. Do I have any discussion on the claims? Okay, do I have a motion? Kim, second. Natalie, all those for? 7-0. All right, Mr. Lewis.
Okay. We have some corporation business here, and we'll start out. I seek a motion to approve an overnight trip for 8 choir students. I believe it's 8 or 9, to be 100% correct there. 8 or 9 choir students to go to St. Louis on May 9th and 10th. It's for a music competition. They will perform. Then following that, they will spend some time at Six Flags. They will then do some shopping and attend a Broadway musical. The bus transportation is not required, as they will go on a charter bus. We will be attending this with 2 additional schools, with Linton and Sullivan. We'll be partnering up with them. I do have some figures if there are any questions on a potential cost or anything like that, if anyone has any questions.
So are the choir students singing with the other 2 schools?
Correct.
Oh, that's fun.
I believe that's the way it is. I guess I'm pretty certain that's the way he explained it. Mr. Drummond could not be here this evening. He had some family in town from out of state.
Okay.
So
Any
I
other
just take that
questions,
motion.
discussion?
No, no discussion.
Oh, okay.
Motion.
Okay, have a motion, Natalie. Second, Heather, all those for? 7-0.
I also seek a motion to approve the student handbooks for the elementary, middle school, and high school as presented. We shared those with the board, and if you have any questions, there was a couple questions for me and tried to get those clarified, but if you have any questions.
I just want to thank the 3 administrators for making it easy for us to see the changes this year. That was very helpful. Thank you.
And I appreciate both their efforts and their teams, because they didn't do that on their own. They got together with the teachers and their team and worked on that, so I appreciate their time and effort in that.
Is there any other discussion on the handbooks before we vote on it?
Appreciate the jumping in and answering questions. That was great.
Okay, do I have a motion then to approve? Kim, second. Dennis, all those for? 7-0. There, you can have handbooks now.
Get those sent to the printers, all right? I seek a motion to approve the disposal of some family and consumer science equipment here in the middle school fax room. That room serves a dual purpose. We have a regular classroom in there. This is Z's self-contained classrooms in there, and they use some of that, but they are repurposing some of the area. So we just have some equipment that we need to get rid of.
Any discussion? Okay, if not, I'll have a motion. Dennis really wants to get rid of that stuff. Okay, second, Mike, all those for?
Getting rid of.
He must know something we don't. 7-0.
All right, I seek a motion to approve the relocation of the 5th grade classes back to the middle school. This is a 2-part. We are looking to expand the early learning center, and just for the best use of our building and our facilities, we have several empty classrooms on the middle school side, and it was logical to, instead of packing everybody in on one side and having a lot of space on the other, to make this move. We had some conversations as an admin team. We've also already discussed with the 5th grade teachers, so they are aware. We also had some discussions at the corporation level, so this shouldn't be a big surprise. We need a formal board approval to make this move to the
Who's spam anyway?
at the state. We have to have board motion to
Okay.
change this at the state level. So to change it back, so that's why the motion. But I will also add, anytime there's change, there will be some anxiety with that for both our faculty and staff, as well as the families whose students will now be at the middle school a year earlier. So we're gonna work through all of those. We're gonna communicate that to all the parties involved and have a good plan in place. And we've already started some of those preliminary discussions.
Any discussion by the board on this?
Have you already started some discussion with 4th grade parents?
We have not, but that's that's one of the things we're gonna bring them in and talk to them. We'll do an orientation like they used to. We're just working through all of those details. But we haven't done that we haven't publicly announced this change till now.
Okay.
So, and just for clarification's sake, and this might be a dumb question, but the fifth grade will now be part of the middle school, like under Allison?
Yes, they'll be under that database and they will be under, so Allison will now be in charge of those. It does equal up the three buildings. So it was, and now they will still utilize some of the specials that were in the elementary, but you know, athletics was always a challenge the last couple of years is what I've been led to believe. You know, with them being over there and they still fell under the middle school umbrella of athletics, but there will be some challenges to it, but I guess I'm speaking from experience. I think it can work and be very effective, so.
It will increase our capacity as we see some new businesses coming into the area that may be coming into our community, right?
100%, and it would
Have some
allow us to
capacity,
do that.
a little bit of buffer in the elementary and across the
Correct.
three buildings, a little more evenly
Correct, yes,
capacity wise. Okay.
100%. And the architects, when they looked at our building, this was one of one of their suggestions is, you know, you've got all this space here and you're tight there, and with some of the changes, this was one of their suggestions as well.
Now, just to be clear, when we move them back, or before they were kind of in the middle of everything, are we gonna do the same thing, or they're gonna be a little bit more?
We're still working through all those details. Initially, we're thinking they'll probably go in a very similar location that they were before. And that's one, we're looking at classroom sizes, is a lot of that. There's some cubbies built in there, and those are bigger classrooms. We do have some big classrooms big class sizes coming over. So all of that has not been completely finalized, but there's been some initial discussions with myself and Allison to best use our resources. We've got lockers that we have to use. We have, you know, we don't have lockers. We just gotta make sure lockers are near where they won't use lockers as often. So whereas like seventh grade will, so we gotta work through all those logistics, and that's a piece of this we're still working through that's in discussion, but we're open to any suggestions on that.
So logically, from a parent perspective of a younger child and an older child there, the younger two grades will be kind of together and the older two
Yes.
grades will be somewhat more separated so that
Yes, for the most part.
for the most part, for that interaction.
Fifth grade will, like Doug said, it will be very similar to how it was before, and fifth grade will still function kind of on an island almost themselves. But they will be included in most middle school activities, except for a couple of things here and there that maybe they're just not age appropriate for yet. They won't be in the hallways with eighth graders. They won't, you know, they're not mixed in with that. They won't ever need to go to that side of the building.
Okay.
Everything will be on the other side. And I can just speak from a parent standpoint as well, because when my child went through fifth grade, it was in the middle school, and I thought they did a very good job of keeping them kind of separated from everybody else, but still involved, and that's the goal and the plan.
Yeah, so I think that's sometimes parents' concern
Oh, yeah.
with those two different ages, so thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Okay, if not, I'll take a motion. Kim, second, Dennis, all those four. 7-0.
Okay, kind of along those same lines, I seek a motion to approve the separation of the ELC and adding them in as their separate Harmony database so that they will have their own school number. This will help us, by separating them out, it's another step towards creating our own independent early learning center. Okay, and we have to get an identification school number from the DOE, and in order to do that, we have to separate them out into their own database. So that's the reason for this. We're not really changing anything. We're changing some of the behind the scenes so we can get that school number for them.
Okay. Any questions?
Were they separated before? Or
I don't believe
it
that
was
they-
just ran
that they-
separately, kind
yeah,
of?
they were just, and it's ran separately now. I mean, you know, while they're in Dustin's building, he really doesn't oversee them. I mean, if there's an immediate issue, he's there, of course, he steps in, but that's not, I mean, Lindsay basically oversees that for us, the way we're organized right now.
I'd like to make that motion.
Okay,
I'd like to second that.
okay, we'll slow down here. Okay, so Kim,
Keep up.
Natalie, sorry. I was still absorbing what he was saying. All those four. 700.
Okay, we have a few personnel items. First, we have a resignation. I seek a motion to approve the resignation of Mary Ann Inman as the high school guidance, athletic, and registrar secretary position. That would be effective March 28th, 2025.
Do you have a motion? Dennis, second. Natalie, all those four. 700.
The next motion there, we've stricken, so we'll move on to the, next, I have a motion to approve Bill Valentine for the high school boys and girls cross-country coaching position for the fall 2025 season.
Motion Dennis, second. Natalie, all those four. 700.
Additional personnel issue here, seek a motion to approve Jamie Bellman as the 2025 Spring Athletic Event Coordinator. She's kind of already helped us out with that a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
She was assisting at a baseball game the other night. We had some scoreboard issues, but we got it figured out.
Yeah, she's been a great help, I will say. Do I have a motion? Natalie? You're too slow, Dennis. Second, Dennis? All those four? 700.
All right, well, we have several donations, which is a great problem to have. As always, we appreciate the generosity of our entire school community. We have a $50 donation from Rhonda Crow to the Eastern Greene Schools in remembrance of Carol Russell. $150 anonymous donor to Eastern Greene Elementary Bradford Woods Pie in the Face fundraiser. $200 anonymous donor to Eastern Greene Elementary Bradford Woods Pie in the Face fundraiser in remembrance of Donnie Wilson. $25 from Hudson Excavating Incorporated to the Eastern Greene Bowling Club. $63 to the Eastern Greene members of the 6th grade class to the Eastern Greene Middle School 6th grade team fund. The funds went to help pay for the Wolverine boxing demonstration and class by the Excel Performance that we were discussing earlier. $625 donation from the Eastern Greene High School Baseball Booster Club to Eastern Greene High School to purchase baseball hats for the team. $50 anonymous donor to Eastern Greene Elementary 5th grade Bradford Woods Trip Fund. $500 donation to the Eastern Greene Elementary School PTO. That was earmarked for the Eastern Greene Elementary 5th grade Bradford Woods trip. $100 from Adam, Stephen, and Alan Nante to the Eastern Greene High School JAG program to purchase supplies for Riley Dance Marathon. $25 from Sarah Johnson to Eastern Greene Middle School 6th grade team fund. $160 anonymous donor to Eastern Greene Elementary 5th grade Bradford Woods trip fund. $250 from the Eastern Greene Biddy basketball to Eastern Greene Middle School athletics. $165.94 from Crane Credit Union to Eastern Greene High School JAG, and $1,000 anonymous donor to Eastern Greene Schools for food purchase for facts to help cover food for Riley Dance Marathon.
100 or 1,000?
100 or 1,000?
$100. I'm sorry, did I say 1,000? I'm sorry, misspoke there.
Okay.
My old eyes, those numbers all go together.
All right, do I have a motion to accept this? Dennis, second. Kim, all those four. As always, we thoroughly appreciate all their doing.
Thank you again to our community for that. We do have a couple of late items here. First, I seek a motion to approve the hiring of Macy Bowles as high school special ed teacher effective for the 25-26 school year. I would like to say that Macy is a former student of mine when I was a principal. And I actually know her outside of school, and I think she'll do a great job for us, and she's worked for the school already, but.
As old as this makes me feel.
Yes.
She graduated with J.C. and Isaac.
She did with J.C. and Isaac, yes.
All right, do I have a motion? Dennis, second. Kim, all those four. Great to see a Thunderbird come back.
I also, another late item, a motion to approve a band trip to Kings Island on May 10th, 2025. And I do have just some information to kind of explain what's going on here. You previously had approved a trip in November for the band to go to Cedar Point. And it was a rather expensive trip, but they did get some students signed up. As we got closer and closer to the trip, more and more kids dropped out. The cost wasn't something they could do. So the money that had been raised, that money is going to be earmarked for a similar trip like that next year where they have more time to fundraise and more time to organize it. Or if a parent chooses, they can get their money back. You know, if there's a student that chooses not to be in band or something. To replace that, the band would like to take a one-day trip to Kings Island. And the reason we bring this to you is, of course, Kings Island is out of state. There will be no overnight component. They're actually using school transportation, a school bus, so they'll go down there, they'll be back that night. But it is out of state, so it does seek, we do need board approval to.
This is just high school.
This is just high school on this trip, yes.
Okay, do you have a motion? Oh, Heather? Second? Mike? All those for? 7-0.
Okay, an additional late item, a motion to approve the resignation of Madeline Cage as middle school art teacher. That is effective at the end of the school year. She has done a great job for us. We hate to see her go. As she shared with Miss Clary and myself, you know, she got like her dream job directing all the educational aspects of the Indiana University Art Museum. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. So, you know, great opportunity for her, big loss for us, but we wish her all the best.
She pulled art out of kids.
Everybody.
Amazing. Yeah, this is a loss for us.
Don't approve it. She
Don't
can't
approve
go.
that.
Don't approve it. That's a mistake.
She's amazing.
She really did do a fantastic job.
Well, maybe we can do some field trips or something to IU and.
All right, do I have a motion? And
No.
Sorry.
All right, Natalie, second. Kim, all those for? All those against?
Sorry. I voted for the motion. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, 7-0.
I do have one additional late item that is not on your board. I don't believe it's on your agenda there. At the high school, I do seek a motion to approve a change to special education teacher Mary Reagan's teaching contract for this school year. So she was previously on a 4 days a week contract. Because we've had some personnel changes at the high school, she has spent more time here. So technically, she will come to the end of her contract in the next few days. But we need to pay for her to be here for the rest of the year. So really, I'm just asking that we approve for her to be on a 5-day teaching contract for the rest of the school year. That's the motion that I see. We just have to have a formal motion to do this.
So, okay, so Sharon makes the motion. Do I have a second? Dennis, all those for? 7-0.
That is all I have as far as late items. My building level guys, do you have a few things you'd like to share?
Well,
It's
first,
always Eric.
it's always Eric.
I know, Eric.
First, I want to thank our community, as you were reading some of the donations, for the Bradford Woods trip. They did the pie in the face, and they came to me before that and asked, and you can't tell now, but they said, how much would it take for us to raise for this trip, for you to shave your beard? And I'll be honest with you, I gave them a number that I thought was probably gonna be unattainable because I really didn't wanna shave my beard, but I thought if they raised that much money, great. And then I see then they came, they said, we raised exactly that much money. And I thought there was maybe a little fishy, but there were a lot of anonymous donors in here for that as well. But seriously though, I do wanna thank everybody for that, because that's a great trip that I'll speak about here in just a few minutes. But our year-to-date attendance in the elementary school is 94.7.
And our fourth quarter attendance, just to date, this is just fourth quarter, is 95.4. And we're encouraged by the strong attendance this quarter and appreciate the support from families in getting students to school more consistently as the year has gone on. That has continued to grow for us. The Bradford Woods fifth grade trip, the annual fifth grade Bradford Woods trip was a memorable experience for our students and staff alike. Big thank you to the fifth grade team, Jamie Robbins, Megan Chipwood, Whitney Russell, and Samantha Cummings, and the staff of Bradford Woods. And the Lott seniors, I wanted to give them a special shout out. The seniors in my group were especially impressive with their leadership and their kindness and guiding and being good role models for our young Thunderbirds. Some of them were here today. I wasn't in a group with Peyton, but every time his group would go by, he was in the front chanting, and then they would repeat and they would just go back and forth, and you could tell they were having a really good time. I'm also very grateful for a flexible team to be able to work with that allowed Dr. Morgan, Mr. Lewis, and myself to all spend some meaningful time with our students at the camp this year, and we appreciate that. Our fourth and fifth grade mini musical was the week before last. And it was amazing as always. Mrs. Drummond and her students did a phenomenal job during both the school-wide and community performances. It was a wonderful showcase of student talent, teamwork, and the power of arts and education. And Natalie's son got to kill someone, I think so.
And then he ended up in the hospital.
Oh, really?
Not for the same thing, but it was kind of ironic, right?
Right, well, I didn't know
He's
that.
okay now.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's good.
It's a redhead thing.
That's good to know.
Good thing you work for Ida Health.
Yeah.
I didn't have anything to do with it.
Business.
Our kindergarten roundup, we do have a new date for that. We pushed it back a week, and we'll talk about that in just a moment, but we are gonna have that on Friday, May the 2nd. We adjusted the event to allow time for updated state assessment procedures, some of the suggested minutes and time that the state allots for us to take each test. Some of them shortened, some of them were a little bit longer, and we also are going to allow for all of our third, fourth, and fifth graders to be able to test in smaller groups. So that takes up more of our day, and we are gonna take a little bit longer in the overall time that we're taking the iLearn, but we're hoping that will benefit our students as they are taking that. We started that today. So rather than have kindergarten roundup right there kind of at the tail end of iLearn, we just pushed it back a week, and all of those parents have been notified already and appointments made. So thank you to our entire staff for their flexibility and shifting schedules and coverage to make these small groups possible as well. Kindergarten graduation will be on Thursday, May the 15th at 10 a.m. in the middle school gym, and details will be sent very shortly to kindergarten families and then shared on our social media platforms. So we're excited to celebrate the growth and accomplishments of our youngest learners. And then lastly, our elementary field day will be on Friday, May the 9th. And we proudly recognize our students of the month and featured artists from earlier in tonight's meeting. These students were chosen for demonstrating excellence in academics, behavior, creativity, and character. So congratulations to each and every one of them. Thank you.
Ready,
Competition here.
and I know now I'm pretty competitive, so 7:33, got it. So school goals, we also are very proud of our attendance. We had that third 9 weeks. We struggled with illness, but we came back strong. We're at 95% right now as a school. So congratulations to all of our students for beating the bugs and getting in here and getting ready for iLearn testing. We did finish checkpoint 2 and checkpoint 3, and all 3 grade levels met or exceeded their goal after those. Very proud of all the hard work that our teachers have put in this year. They seem to really respond well to the checkpoint data, and the students are aware of it. The teachers take time to go over that data with them, explain it to them, and because of that, I think we're really making a lot of strides. So I'm excited. We will be starting iLearn tomorrow. I am excited for us to show what we know. I think what we've done the whole year is far more valuable than what we're going to do over the next 2 weeks. But I know that they are going to just really show up and show out. I'm excited to see. We had some great events the last couple of weeks. We had our annual science fair a couple of weeks ago, and as usual, it was a huge success. I don't know how many times I said during the day, I always worried about science fair, even when I was in the classroom, and I was like, it's not going to happen, they're not going to have anything, it's going to be terrible, and then they show up and they have the most amazing ideas and projects. I learned a lot from the consumer science tables. I know that I need to buy Gain because I've been a Tide girl all my life, but they showed me that Gain is better at getting out your stains. I also learned about the best mascara and the longest lasting foundation that's drugstore worthy. So we had some really amazing and thoughtful projects. I also want to thank the community and everyone who showed up. We had over 40 community members come and judge the science fair. Some of them were parents, but some of them have no children in the school system but came and were a part of that day, and it was amazing. So I want to thank the science team for putting it together. It's not an easy task, but they did a wonderful job, and all of our students as well. We also had our annual lip sync. We thought this year it might not happen. We had to reschedule 2 or 3 different times. We had some weather come in. We thought we were gonna get a tornado and get blown away, but we did finally find a night. And we had our lip sync, and it was also very successful. So thank you to all of our teachers who go above and beyond to provide an atmosphere where we have fun, but we're learning something every single day. I say it on the announcements, and it truly happens in our building every day. Our third 9-week awards and incentive breakfast also just wrapped up. I continue to be proud and amazed by all of our students. We had so many students on high honor roll and honor roll. Trying to get them in one picture is nearly impossible, which is a good problem to have. And then we had our biggest incentive breakfast that we've had all year. Just students who have improved in the classroom, have shown strong character, have been responsible, kind to others. So they're all very bright, caring, and responsible young adults, and we are very proud of them. We do have some upcoming events. DC trip will be May 6th through the 10th. The Social Studies Department is putting on a culture and career fair on May 2nd, so very similar. It's in the afternoon. It's very similar to a science fair, only this time we're highlighting some culture and careers through social studies. The high school / middle school musical, they've been putting in lots of work, and I can't thank the music department enough for everything they do to make that happen. And that will be May 2nd through the 4th. And Dustin mentioned that we're gonna have the senior walk on May 5th, and then kindergarten graduation will be on May 15th. We have lots of field trips, and then we are planning to have a middle school field day for each grade level this year, so that last week of school. I have a couple of shout outs. I want to shout out Mr. Martindale for organizing all of our spring sports. Track is a difficult one because weather is never cooperating with us. The central office staff, they have been great, very friendly, very helpful. We've had some bus things come up with field trips, and everybody has been very kind and helpful, so I want to thank the central office staff. Mary Stanger and Kristen Hutchins, they are our school psychologists and our speech, and they have been doing ACRs and just in working with our students day after day, and I really appreciate them. I mentioned the music department. I want to hit that one more time. I went up to Indianapolis with our middle school bands for the ISMA competition. Our bands did a wonderful job. They represented us very well, and Mrs. Ogle has come in and really just done a phenomenal job. I've got something in my eye, I apologize. She's working really hard to build relationships and try to build our band back up. And that was one thing in the interview that we had with her that I I wanted to see. I wanted to see our band back to what it used to be before. Anyone that used to go to school here knows we used to have a huge band, and so I think she's really trying to do that, and I appreciate all her efforts. Fifth grade team, thank you for being so flexible. Thank you for taking all of this with stride. It's not going to be easy. There's a lot of logistics, and people are, what's this going to be? What's this going to be? But they've been very easy to work with, and I appreciate them. And then Madeline Cage, like they said, this one hits hard, not just because she brought art out and everyone, but she was just an incredible human to have in the building and helped with everything. So I will miss her dearly. That's all.
I asked Eric if I could jump in front of him because he always talks forever. So I'm gonna share, and I have to share something high school specific. So I just wanted to give a huge shout out to our high school staff, special education staff. They've been short-staffed for a few months now, and they have picked up the slack and just, we've asked people to do things that they don't normally do. So I want to thank Mary Reagan, Cheryl Janess, Macy Bowles, who apparently liked us so much, she's even going to become a special ed teacher, Allison Jordan, and our new friend who joined us in the middle of all of this, Emily Hudson. So I really want to thank them so much for stepping up and filling in some holes that we had. I also just wanted to ask everyone to keep the Zuckshort family in their thoughts. Colin, one of our high school students, had a car accident after school last week. He's fine, but it was, as you can imagine as a parent, terrifying. Eric and I were in the middle of an interview when it happened, and so it was all a little scary there for a few minutes, but you know, anytime a student or community member goes through something like that, we should, you know, reach out to them and check on them, and especially when one of them is a teacher of our own. So please keep them in your thoughts and check on them. Lastly, I just wanted to hope that iLearn goes well for everybody. I know sometimes our students with special needs have a little bit more challenges during that time. So hopefully everybody will continue to be flexible and understanding of them during this time where they have to sit still for a very long period of time and do a lot of hard work for them. So yeah, thank you guys.
I think you've been challenged.
I know, right? First off, want to welcome Macy Bowles. She was already on my staff. I'm excited to have her in this capacity. She's absolutely fantastic, and I know she's going to do great things. Our spring sports are underway. I want to wish all of our athletes and coaches successful seasons, and invite everyone out to the ball games, the track meets, and the fairway. Thank you to Ms. Waldridge, Julia Crane, Renee Christensen, and Tessa Wolfker for taking time to help do mock interviews for our upcoming apprenticeship opportunities through ROI. The high school has some amazing teachers and some hardworking students. This year we were able to improve our SAT scores significantly through some remediation efforts and teachers providing some specific SAT preparation. We were able to improve our mean SAT score by 20 points, up to a 970, and passing scores improved dramatically in both math with a 4% increase and ELA 19% increase from last year. Overall, the student pass rate improved 5%. I want to thank the students for taking the SAT seriously and trying their hardest, and thank you to our teachers for making it a priority to improve these scores. As you heard earlier, Riley Dance Marathon took place the last week of March. Students raised over $5,000 for the kids at Riley. Thank you to everyone who helped out and participated, and just like Doug acknowledged that it kind of hit home for him, I am also a Riley kid. So it's something that when I first applied here, I saw on the website it's something that we do, and I was like, I want to be a part of that. So really appreciate all their efforts. Congratulations to our 20 newest inductees in National Honor Society. We held that event the week after spring break, and I want to thank Irene Birch for all her work that she puts into that event, and all the wonderful community service that organization does. Thank you to all of our teachers that came out to the top 10 dinner, and a special thank you to Mrs. Bartlett and Mrs. Tarr and our guest speaker, Mr. Edwards. We have our senior recognition night on April 28th at 6 p.m. And let me be the first to invite you to our 2025 commencement ceremony on May 24th. We look forward to celebrating our seniors with you. Our art program is happy to invite everyone out to the Eastern Green Art Show starting on April 30th. As Mr. Zapata said earlier, the opening reception will be that first day. Very excited to see our high school schoolers perform in a few weeks in the High School Musical. This year's musical is Catch Me If You Can. So, freshmen will be taking the Bio iLearn next week, and many students will be taking AP exams in early May. Just want to wish everyone best of luck. Happy School Librarian Day to Mrs. Van Dievender. This woman is absolutely amazing. She can jump from building to building without skipping a beat and making sure that everything runs very smoothly. So I appreciate her, and I know they also appreciate the assistants that they have in their buildings. Couldn't do it without them. So happy Administrative Assistant Day. That day is April 23rd at the high school. I have an amazing woman. Her name is Miss Haynes. She takes care of me and Mr. Howard in so many ways. She keeps us sane some days. So I just really appreciate her. She's done an amazing job for us. Last week was Assistant Principal Appreciation Week. So I wanted to also recognize Mr. Howard. He's been a tremendous asset to both our students and our faculty this year. And I did give him a little bit of crap because he gets a week and we just get days. And so I was like, oh, I don't know how that happened, but it did. So, and then last but not least, to all of our parents, just ask that you please update your information in Harmony in anticipation for the upcoming school year. This summer we are going to be sending out some important information. Just want to make sure that it gets home. So, thank you.
What was the time on the 28th for the senior thing?
6 p.m.
Could we, one thing for Harmony, is there a way to add students? Like within the, where you do all the registration stuff, add students' phone numbers so they can get alerts and stuff like that?
Oh.
It has that.
I think it
Yeah,
has
they
that.
can do that.
I just don't know if it's tied into, I don't know, it depends on the fields that we have earmarked for Messenger, is that correct?
I would have to look and see. I know at a previous school that I worked at that we did have student numbers in there.
Yeah,
It's an
I
option.
believe they can, and then each individual user can change it to elect who gets.
Yeah.
Okay, cause it's kind of hard to figure that out.
It's been a little tricky this year.
Yeah, so anyway, I was just
Our
curious.
new message system.
A little different.
All right, Mr. Lewis, you have anything you wanna say?
I just got a few things. I do want to give a short update on the previously approved bonds. We continue to work through the planning phase. For the bond that's for the elementary, middle school campus, as well as the bond for the high school campus. We are working with the Stepnagel Group as well as Gibraltar Engineering. Additionally, we are collaborating closely with our legal counsel, which is Ice Miller, as well as our municipal advisors, Thurber and Brock, to finalize all the aspects of the project. While it remains in progress and in the planning stage, we do anticipate a more formal update at the May board meeting. We do appreciate everyone's patience as we work to align all the necessary components to ensure a smooth and successful start to the projects on each campus. We're working hard to be committed and responsible stewards of taxpayer resources while striving to best meet the needs of our school community in regards to the bonds. So we'll have we should have a great deal of updated information at the May board meeting. I also want to just echo good luck to all those testing iLearn. And, Allison mentioned something that I think I shared with you in the memo, that these tests are important and we want the students to do well. And we certainly need to reflect on our practice. But at the end of the day, what we do in this building and what our kids are is a lot more than a test that's coming down from the state of Indiana. So we value the test. We want to see where we're at, and we're going to use that to reflect on our practice. But at the end of the day, our relationships with the kids and getting them prepared to be productive members of society, I think, are much more important. But we certainly value the feedback from those states, and we do appreciate everybody's efforts. I also want to share a little bit of a legislative update. I've attended several superintendent's meetings, both at the state level and in our regional area, and that's the number one topic every time we go. We don't really have any answers, but we are closely monitoring several pieces of legislation at the state level that could impact school funding. Senate bill, which is the tax relief bill or property tax relief bill. I pay property taxes like everybody else, and everybody wants to pay less in property taxes. But there are some components to that bill that are still under debate. It's expected to result in reduced revenue for the operations budget moving forward. When that is finally done, when they're done with the amendments and everything, we will have some type of reduction. All the arrows are pointing to that in our operation fund. In addition to tracking state level developments, we're also paying attention to federal action that may influence funding, including the federal tariffs. Just today, I was in a meeting, and the director of the Indiana Association of Public School Superintendents was telling us of another school corporation that had gotten a couple bids on replacing a couple buses, and each bus had a line item for $30,000 that said tariff fee. So you take a bus that goes from $150,000 and you add an additional potential $30,000 on that.
Where are they being made?
Well, that's where but I don't know that it matters where it's being made. I think it's the parts are coming from all over the place, and steel and all of the, so it's all gonna just, and I'm not being political, I'm just sharing with you what I'm hearing from a legislative standpoint, because it is going to affect everything we do, not just, and I'm not questioning tariffs, but just all of this stuff is going to impact us one way or the other, so we just need to be aware of that, and I wanna make sure that at least everyone hears that that's a potential for us. All of these potential changes to our revenue require us to be cautious and strategic in our spending decisions, and we will do that. While we remain fiscally responsible, our commitment to meeting the needs of our students and school community, that will remain unchanged. We're gonna do everything in our power to provide the best service that we can to our students and our community. We'll continue to prioritize educational quality and support while adapting to whatever comes our way. That's one thing the schools are good about, is we will just adapt and overcome, and we'll continue to do that. But I just thought it was important that we share with everyone here and anyone that happens to be tuning in that, there are some potentials that we will have to cut pennies here and there, and I certainly think that that's coming. I also want to mention we do have Teacher Appreciation Week around the corner. That's May 5th through 9th. We always appreciate our teachers all year round, but to get a week to kind of point out to them and really shine a light on the great things they do. We look forward to that. I know each building has plans that they will be doing, and I'll be in touch with the board on some ideas that I have for some things that we can do as a central office and board if you would like to participate. That's really all I have. I appreciate, everybody, my principals sharing all the exciting things happening in their building.
Sure, you got anything on? Kim?
Just a couple dates to let folks
Okay.
know about real quick. May 6th, down at Westgate, is what they call their First Tuesday event. And from 4 to 6, the first hour is a presentation from someone from the base. And then that second hour is for networking in the afternoon, or after the meeting. But this coming May 6th one will be Dr. Angie Lewis, who is the technical director for the whole base.
Okay.
So for the whole Navy part of the base, and she's the highest ranking civilian there, and we'll have some great information to share. If any of you could come out from 4 to 5, would be the time to hear her speak. On April the 18th, that is our deadline from the ROI initiatives for career coaching nominations, and also for the STEM fellowship nominations. And STEM fellowship this year coming up will be for middle school. And it is basically once a month professional development for career coaches, and also once a month development for any STEM related. It doesn't have to be science, it can be any curriculum. Previously, Ken went to the career coaching thing this last year from the high school. Irene Birch and Mandy Buskirk have previously been STEM fellows from the school, so that's going down soon. Last thing was, I think we talked about Career Center limited spaces.
Yeah.
At career centers,
Or
right?
in Hoosier Hills limiting.
Limiting our spaces. I would think maybe we wanna throw this out to think about other career centers that are drivable, which is only a few minutes difference in Hoosier Hills, and also Wagler Education Center down towards Lyons. So there might be some options to, pocket for all kids to be able to get what they might want or need from those kind of activities.
Why were those spaces limited? Was that a funding thing or?
So Hoosier Hills this past year has a new director who's kind of, I think, reshaping Hoosier Hills a little bit. And I know all of the participating schools was depending on the content area or the subject. Each school was given 2 to 3 spaces per thing, and so that's there are some that don't like the ICE program, which is that they have a little bit more availability, but in construction or fire sciences, we have 2 spaces in each, and that used to be much broader.
I'll add, I know that as the standards and the expectations with the diploma have changed, there is more kids looking into some of those areas as well. So we're starting to see, all the schools are picking up, so then they're starting to limit. I'm not, I haven't been directly involved in those. I know that having dealt with other learning centers like Hoosier Hills, the co-op, when I was at WRV, we did some work with them. They too were starting to limit to an extent. And again, it's staffing for them. Some of it is a staffing issue, just like it is for us. So there are obstacles. But I know we have one person in the community that has reached out to me about potentially filling in that gap in one of the areas. So we just had a casual conversation, but so I think there are some possibilities there. And we will explore. And I know Wagler is a possibility as well.
Pass that over to Douglas. Yeah, so I just wanted to bring that out as we can think outside the box. We don't have to drive the limit for everything, right?
Right.
So,
Other?
I can't think of anything right now. I had something earlier and I forgot, so no, that's okay.
You should have wrote it down.
I should have, yeah.
Natalie?
So all these things have been mentioned already, and I'm not gonna talk too long, but the 4th and 5th grade mini musical was awesome. I was able to be part of that. But our PTO just had its community Easter egg hunt this past Saturday. A big turnout for that. It's great seeing our community come together and do that.
Did
Hopefully
anybody find the $1 million egg, or is that still on?
the $1 million one. If I told you, I would have to.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, so, yeah, about that. But I had the opportunity to join the Bradford Woods group of 5th graders as being the nurse for that, and I took a few days off from my day job for that. Wow, like what an amazing experience. And what an amazing experience to know that, our teachers and our staff and the chaperones, we don't get paid any extra to do that. They bust their butt to earn every penny that we get to go to that opportunity. And other schools pay a pretty penny to their people that are doing that kind of thing, and ours do it because they love our kids. And to me, that's just an amazing feeling as a parent in this community and someone that didn't grow up here. Who would want anything else? I mean, it's just really, for someone that hasn't experienced that, you can't even imagine. So thank you to everyone that made all of that happen. I know that it was, the weather, everyone lived, we had an amazing time, lots of experiences that they're never gonna get anywhere else. And our seniors, I'm not exposed to very many of the high schoolers, they're amazing. So when you hear about all this negative stuff that's happening in the world, you always hear about all the bad things that kids are doing and, oh my gosh, our future is, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? these kids can't be the only ones that are wonderful like that, but we're doing something right here. You know, the parents are doing something right. These are an amazing group of seniors that showed leadership skills that I'm like, I don't know if I would have, I mean, I felt like I was a responsible high schooler, but these guys just showed up and they took initiative and no one had to tell them what to do, and our kids loved them. So thank you for all of that. Sorry I talked a long
I
time.
did hear something about a nurse getting out of control or something.
She might have.
Oh, okay.
I did yell
I don't
at them
know.
a couple times to respect their teachers, and
It's a fiery red hat.
I can tell you the storm didn't affect the cabin I stayed in that night.
yeah,
They were busy with their pillow fight, having a good time being
there
fifth
was.
grade boys, and they didn't think,
I wondered
That
if the
too,
kids
I-
were scared, but
I don't.
they weren't in our cabin. but-
Yeah, I feel like
Maybe
they
it must
probably
be
just
us.
didn't know.
we did like skits and stuff, and I think that they were just completely oblivious. And these cabins that they stayed in are not cabins for anybody that's ever been there. These are like luxury homes.
They're like little dorms. They are.
They
little
must
They
have
are, I
said-
mean, they're not like this little rickety shack that you think if I huff and puff, it's gonna blow your house down kind of thing. They were safe, and I never worried about my kid who was in a different area than me. I worried about him maybe misbehaving.
I think he was in our cabin.
He was
Say Mr. Lewis had it under control.
I didn't do much. I left it to, we had
Yeah, But I mean,
adult counselor and
this
seniors.
is just, I mean, honestly, this community that we have, you hear negative things everywhere, but I couldn't imagine being anywhere else raising my kids, so
You just reminded me of what I wanted to say.
fine.
We're-
We skipped you, but
Go ahead.
If anybody wants to hear what I had to say, see me after the meeting.
All
No
right.
one will see me. Go ahead, Dennis. No, I was just gonna compliment, several people mentioned relationships over and over again. And that is what it's about, and I think that is what we do maybe differently than a lot of places. And there was some rant on one of the community Facebook pages. Somebody was asking like, I don't know about taking my kids to Eastern, and it was so cool to see so many positive responses. And like, there were a couple people who were poo-pooing, there's always gonna be a couple. And, you know, they had whatever reasons they have, but we had people from alumni to current students just really singing Eastern's praises and talking about like coming in from other school districts to come here, so that was just really awesome.
By the time I saw it, I think it was up to about 130 responses.
Yeah, and I didn't get through all the responses even, but that was just really nice to
And
see.
I know this, another thing about our community just this week is, if I'm wrong, please correct me on this, but Shoals, it was helping house some of the flood victims, and so I believe it was Aaron that sent out an email. It got to me very last minute, cause it got sent to me from my husband saying, hey, I've got like 15 minutes, can you get together a bunch of these supplies? And I'm like, okay, let me see. But I mean, we help send them back with things to help those flood victims, and the way that our community just comes together. I mean, I got a hold of our Girl Scout leader. We had extra Girl Scout cookies. We were looking for some place to donate them. What a perfect opportunity. You know, your house is flooded, you're living in a shelter, but you've got Thin Mints, right? So, I mean, just anything. I just like how we don't have billionaires that live in our community. We don't have all the fancy things and I'm sorry, but it doesn't matter. What we have is we share it with everybody, and that's just, you're gonna have a few negative people, but for the majority, like, these are our kids, this is our community, these are our neighbors, and we own that. So it's pretty amazing.
Yes?
From the school board, we do wish Colin a healthy,
Absolutely.
speedy recovery. Hope he's listening, you know, and, cause we certainly don't want any of our students being hurt, and, you know, anything, but thanks to staff, you guys have done a wonderful, wonderful job. Teachers have done a great job. Sounds like, gonna be one of the best school years we've had, so just thank you very much.
Mike?
We got a new status on the football coach.
We're still in the interview process. We're still in that process. We've got a couple candidates we really like, but we're just working through hoops on that, and we're going as quickly as we can.
All right, so it is recommended that the meeting be adjourned at 8:04 p.m. Do I have a motion? Dennis, second?